Hello. How good was that timing on the music there? Happy Monday. I've eaten, I have taken my pills. We've got the cat cam set up. Let's have a look. She's picked a new spot lately. Oh, it's a bit blurry. I have looked into some alternative streaming software for the camera, so I might give that a go, ready for next week, assuming I have the mental energy. Cyclone, hello, how are you? Pills are good? Yeah, pills are, for the most part, good. Let's give you a shout out. How have you been lately, Cyclone? I've actually tried the newfangled shout outs that I haven't done before. There we go. Newfangled shout out. How about that? Doing good, just finally prepping some D&D stuff for tomorrow night. Ooh, D&D, excitement. Night, no morning. Well, you know, time zone. Yeah, that's nice. I miss D&D. I have some dice sets that I bought, and I have not even rolled them once. Terrible shame. But yeah, it's a rainy, sleepy kind of Monday. I have maybe a little bit of energy we could do for stream. Yeah, play some Ultima. What were we doing last time? Last time we were attempting to talk with the Wisps to advance the plot because we knew that we had to talk to the Wisps somehow. The fortune teller gave us that clue, but we'd forgotten the whole thing that we have to talk to the monks in Empath Abbey to gain the specific knowledge that we were supposed to have in order to talk to the Imps, to talk to the Wisps. It's a big series of tangents and branching plots, but yes. We're back on track now. It was raining now, it's ultra bright. Last time you were trying to make the Wisps talk and tell their secrets, yes. Well, the funny thing about the Wisps is they are quite alien, and we'll get into that soon. And they act as a sort of information broker. They have absolutely no morals, and by doing this series of quests to talk to the Wisps to gain the information we need to talk to the Time Lord so that he can set us right on the main quest, we'll set in motion a number of events that will cause certain other things to happen, and NPCs get killed. But that's going to be something we discover in a few episodes' time, I think. For now, we are just going to, let's see, went to Empath Abbey, we talked to the monk, we got that specific bit of information that, hey, Imps like honey, and you might be able to talk to them and do some favors to get them to talk with the Wisps for you. And of course, we already did that. We already talked to the Imps, and oh no, is it the bandits again? Bandits. Eat shit, bandits. I don't think the bandits have much. Holy crap, that's the death size! Jana, did you run away in horror and drop this incredibly powerful artifact weapon on your way? That's kind of not good. That's kind of really not good. I don't know what, Oh, and we've got a plane flying overhead in the background. Oh, hey, look at that. Yeah, it's so shiny and pretty, and it's not something you should just drop in the middle of the forest where I might not be able to ever retrieve it. I've got the balcony window open, so we may hear a couple of planes flying over, but I think we can deal with it. But I think I know what happened to the Juggernaut hammer that we gave to Jana previously. She must have fled and dropped that as well, which kind of sucks. I don't know if there's a stat that the game uses to determine how fearful someone is and how prone to running away they are. But look at their stats. Jana, she's a tank. There's no reason for her to ever run away. Maybe we need to swap her out for someone else. Might have a cowardly stat or something. It's possible. We could have a poke around in the game. Let's turn the number display on. Jana is number 5. So what we can do is we can modify NPC 5. Attack modes, business activity, pop weapon, want primary toggle, following alignment, NPC status, training, kill, exit, target experience, reserve deck stats. So we could look at her stats. But that's just the same primary stats that we can see normally, as well as the food level, which is a hidden stat that you don't normally get to see. I mean, characters have alignments in this game. They've got like chaotic or orderly. So there's following alignment, enter number of alignments. Neutral, good, evil, or chaotic. Yeah, but that's not right. Attack mode? Yeah, attack mode is just the thing that you can normally configure to tell your followers what to do. You can set it to defend. Oh, of course. Default attack mode, defend. So if we, let's turn the number display off. If we look at her little thing there, this is the symbol for defense. Well, either way, we can loot these bandits. We've got a random Ceramed arrow here. I don't know if we want to keep Ceramed in the party. His stats are pretty low compared to the rest of our group. But then again, maybe he's less prone to running away. Anyway, we have main quests to do. You are greeted by me, human. Tavanor slowly approaches. Thanks, Tavanor, we don't need to talk to you. You are told goodbye. As it happens, all of the big questing that we did last week that seemed to end in a dead end, we are able to continue if we just talk to Trelec. If he'll stand still. Is it you? Yeah, here we go. You are greeted, Poggers. So we can now finally tell him that after the whole Silverleaf quest line, we still have no permission to let you accompany us. For you to talk with wisps is still your wish? Then helping you is my goal. A whistle can be made by me. Oh, well, why didn't you say so? A whistling sound is made by imps when talking is done by us. An imitation of that sound can be created by a special whistle, he says enthusiastically. Hey Dave, how are you? Thanks for dropping by. We are picking up where we left off last week and getting back to the imp quest line, which sort of ended in a dead end. But now that we know that imps are supposed to be able to let us talk to the wisps, we're able to actually do this and have the right dialogue options available to us. Good, thanks, mate. How are you today? I'm not bad. I've taken all my pills and I'm not completely short on energy. Yeah, we'll see how it goes. haven't really accomplished much on the weekend. Like, I have things I wanted to do. I've just about managed to feed, clothe myself, do laundry, things like that, but nothing actually advanced. So, oh well. It is also very humid. Like, it's been raining all day, and it's just, yeah, humid. I might put the fan on and see if that, because, you know, if the fan gets picked up by the microphone, I don't want that on. Okay, so if I'm talking, it'll break the noise gate, and you might hear a hiss in the background. But the fan itself isn't enough to trigger it, so we'll see. It's a pretty low fan. I'll bump the speed down a bit. Doesn't bother you? That's good to know, Dangerous Dave. He begins quickly searching around for a dead, hollow, fallen tree branch. Shortly, he finds one that meets his satisfaction. Apparently embarrassed, he turns his back to you and makes motions similar to one twisting a cork from a flagon. After a few minutes of this, he turns around and presents the whistle to you. Here is your whistle. Thank you. Bye. Good luck is hoped for you. Excellent. We have our amp whistle. And we can use this now to talk to wisps. Did we go past it? No, we're nearly there. Here, wispy, wispy, wisps. Ah, there they are. So if we try and talk to them normally, the wisp does not respond. However, if we use our whistle, a ball of light approaches you. You are not the entity known as Trelec. You call out in the manner of the species called Imps. Zorina was expecting the entity Trelec. But that is not of importance. From the information I have, the local manifestation before me is the entity known as Avatar. The wisp glows brightly for a second or two. Zorina wishes to exchange information with the human entity. Cool, what's your name, Zorina? Highest probabilities indicate that a manifestation from the Zorinite dimension will be called Wisp by the entities known as humans. Reading this aloud may get quite tedious. I am also called Zorina by other manifestations of the Zorinite dimension. And what is it you do? Zorina is a conduit for information between different planes and dimensions. Zorina also catalogues information which is necessary for growth of the Zorinite community. You have information which may be valuable to me. I also have information that you want. Do you really? It's funny that we can outright ask them about the Time Lord, but let's pursue these other dialogue options first. What's a wisp? This label has been implemented by human entities to name manifestations from the Zorinite dimension since the time when this dimension was discovered by Zorinite manifestations. Another common name is Will-o'-the-Wisp. The preceding sample of information was provided without charge. Usually there is a fee for information. Here we go. They're gonna get us to subscribe. The Undrian Council seeks information regarding a certain entity by the name of Alagna. You have access to this information. I have information regarding a certain entity which you are seeking. The Undrian Council proposes a trade. Alagna is a sage who is on New Maginsia. And it occurs to me that these wisps, right, they can float through walls and very difficult to be harmed. and they can absorb books as knowledge just by floating over them and reading them that way. What's stopping them just going over to Alagna's warehouse and reading the information that they want themselves? I don't quite get why I have to be involved, but let's see how it goes. The Undrian Council has information that there is a human entity in your dimension that has been called the wisest man in Britannia. This entity is known as Alagna and lives in your colony of New Magentia. Alagna has what the entity calls a notebook. The notebook is a collection of information. Galara? Hello.
Warning. Warning.
Hello everyone, welcome on in. Thank you so much, Galara. It's quite a treat to have you come by. I hope that your stream went well, and it did seem a lot more stable near the end there, so I don't know what you did or anything to fix that up. But for those that don't know Galara Dragon is a lovely streamer who does a lot of retro games, and in particular, of course, has a love of the Ultima game series, like I do. So yeah, welcome on in here. Do go follow her. Like, I'm doing the multiple shout-outs today with the fancy new one and the old Stream Element ones. So here you go. You did nothing, that's the nutty part. Well, you know how tech is. It gets quite nutty, doesn't it? The definition of insanity is trying something repeatedly and expecting different results. But in tech, sometimes that's what you need to do. Figured we owed you a raid after murdering you earlier. Thank you, that's quite nice of you. One of the games that Galara plays on stream is a fun little game called Sleuth, which is a bit like Cluedo, and you get to discover who the murderer is. And I got murdered. Poor me. But yes, that's quite overwhelming. Thank you all for coming on in. Thank you for the follow, Kleber, and anyone else I've missed in this sudden wall of text. You look kind of like Brian Blessed. I love it. Yeah. Like the cat cam, let's have a close-up on Poppy for a moment here. Oh, thank you for the follow, Karen Gibb. So, excuse the slightly poor video quality, but although the stream may be fuzzy, the cat is also quite fuzzy. Tree! Hello, Treacle. How are you? Welcome on in. So Poppy has previously been in her flan that you could just about see there on the corner, but she's now taken to sleeping on this big fuzzy black jacket of mine. And it's quite adorable, and she's very much just quite snug and sound in that jacket, and will happily stay there all day. Yeah, welcome on entry. Treacle is also a favourite streamer of mine, so you get a shout out as well. Both of them, why not? I really ought to link these two together, but here we go. And again, you know, like Galara Dragon, my friend in America, Treacle is in the UK, and of course that makes catching streams quite difficult sometimes, what with time zones, but if you do get a chance, why not go see one of Treacle's streams? She's quite lovely. So, I'm a little overwhelmed now from all the sudden activity, but we were talking with Wisps, and we were talking with Wisps to attempt to gain some information about the Time Lord, because a gypsy told us to. And as it turns out, that was a long, big quest line in itself, but now that we have the opportunity to talk with them, they say that they are information brokers, and they'll give us the information we seek, but only if we give them some information in return. Lots of love to you all, and thanks so much for all you do. I'm going to get myself ready for some stuff, and I'll be lurking. Big hugs. Thank you so much, Clever. Enjoy your lurk. So let's ask them what this Undrian Council is all about. The Council represents what your language defines as government. They talk like this a lot. It's going to be quite interesting. Oh, doggos? Ah, you heard the neighborhood dog there. I've got the window open, so there's going to be a bit of background noise. And it seems to have startled Poppy a bit. Also, I nearly forgot to change scenes there. Not that anyone would complain, because having a view of Poppy is quite nice. But here is the actual thing I was reading just now. There we go. So I was told to ask about a Time Lord. The entity known as Time Lord requests an audience with you. Before I can give you more information about this, I must propose a trade. And we've already done the information dialogue tree, I think. The Undrian Council seeks information regarding a certain entity by the name of Alagna. Yeah, you can definitely hear that plane going overhead. I will just close the door. There we go. No more disruptions. It is still quite overcast and rainy outside. I'm just trying to get a bit of a breeze through the place so that we can cool down. You have access to this information. I have information regarding a certain entity which you are seeking. The Undrian Council proposes a trade. Yep, so we did that already. We talked about Alagna. Trade. I want to absorb the information in Alagna's notebook. If you bring the notebook here, the Undrian Council will release information useful to you. Do you agree to the trade? Glad I finally caught you. Nothing like checking my mail when I wake up and finding you on like 7 a.m. my time. So here we have to agree to the terms and conditions. Yes, 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 I agree. Next. Zarina recognizes your usefulness. I shall be here. Human entities will call my activity waiting. Alrighty. Bye. Zarina always welcomes the exchange of information. Farewell. Have I played Ultima 1 to 6 already? No, I haven't. It's on my to-do list. I've only experienced a little bit of Ultima 6 at a friend's house back in the day, but 7 is where I started originally, and honestly, you know, pretty privileged, I guess you could say, to start at Ultima 7 because it's just such an amazing game. But I definitely want to go through the whole catalogue at some point. You've never played an Ultima game of Uzel? That is surprising. You should start. It is fun. So let's go to New Magencia and find this Alagna fellow. I'm sure he'll just hand us the notebook without question, because we're the Avatar after all. We're on a big important mission to save the world. We need to talk to the Time Lord. We just need to borrow his notebook, that's all. Easy. So we can fly away on a magic carpet. We're going over Britain. Whereabouts are we now? Yes, what could possibly go wrong? Right, Galara? That's just, you know, it's very nice, easy, straightforward fetch quest. Get Alagna's notebook. Oh, our little plus is over the Britannia logo. Nice thing about the magic carpet is you don't have to deal with all these sea monsters. What could possibly go wrong? I mean, possibly go wrong. That's the first time that something's gone wrong. Okay, so that, I think, is Alagna's warehouse. Yep. So let's park over here somewhere. Actually, no. Alagna's, he's got his warehouse here, and then behind it is his regular house. Alagna must be rich. The size of this place. And he's got one of these fancy houses that's a little bit taller than everyone else's. Hello. One notebook, please. The Wisp call song is lovely, yeah. A lot of good tunes in this game. You see a large man with an almost cunning, erudite aura about him. So what's your name? The sage smiles and nods his head. My name is Alagna, and who art thou? I am Poggers. I see. Nice to meet thee. Go away. I am busy. Usually, just using your name is the right option. People don't like it when you barge into their place and claim to be the avatar. Let's try this again, shall we? Oops. Started reading over his shoulder. Alagna's Book of Marvelous and Astonishing Things. A compiled volume of items of interest, both magical and mundane, by Alagna. In this volume, compiled for easy reference, are some of the many fascinating constructions I have found during my researches. These items range from interesting uses for mundane items to fascinating miscarriages of magic. Please read and enjoy this varied realm of my Britannia. My friend made his own arrangement of the song for a fan CD I produced. Nice. Potions. An historical point of interest from the last several hundred years. Circa 207, there was a rather infamous case of a resourceful peeping Tom. One may ask what this had to do with potions, but the publicity generated from this trail about the use and misuse of magical potions of X-ray vision encouraged all honorable mages and alchemists to cease making this amazing potion. And, as these potions fell into disuse, the affectations of calling them white potions also slowly ceased, and a lesser-known concoction, which, ironically, is appreciably more white than the original X-ray potion I was able to view, see Alagna's Index of Treasures, enter year 15 for more information, that of common illumination became its replacement. He is literally inviting people to read it, so he clearly intends for it to be read, right? Flying carpets, a recurring magic. As many of you undoubtedly know, the flying carpet was essential to the Avatar in his legendary quest. His legendary quest? Hold on. To save Lord British from the 3 Shadow Lords. However, few people realize that this fascinating piece of lore has been rediscovered and, according to my sources, hidden just inside the dungeon Destard. Or is it Despise? I always get those mixed up. Note, look this up before publication. This amazing carpet could fly over water and swamps with no adverse effect, for a marvelous tool for the common adventurer and essential for the Avatar. An interesting side note. According to an ancient tome, the carpet was actually believed a failure by its creator for its inability to rise more than a few inches off the ground. Wands, a trio of terrible weaponry. The 3 identified varieties of magical wand all seem to have been made for the express purpose of changing the combat-weak spellcaster into a killing machine. And for those with the ability to keep them from wearing out, no small feat of magic, mind you, but simple for anyone capable of crafting the wand in the first place, they are perhaps the most formidable weapons of their size. Well, it has been 200 years since you've been around, yes. Fire Wand. The wand fires a bolt of flaming death. According to all known texts on the subject, the carnage was called amazing. Lightning Wand. The effects of a bolt of lightning as it bursts forth from the wand is as devastating as its counterpart, the Fire Wand. However, according to one of its proponents, the corpses look and smell much less offensive. Thank you for the follow, Vusel. Magician's Wand. While only slightly more lethal than the typical bow, this wand is rendered quite effective due to 2 interesting facets. Its damage is of a most magical nature, and more than quite powerful against monsters likely to hassle a mage, and it never runs out of charges. If thou art interested in power and duration, this is the wand for thee. Silver Serpent's Venom. Mage's Dream, Youth's Bane. Once upon a time, the ability to gather this reagent was heralded as the beginning of a new era of magicry. It was the epitome of high wizardry, but, alas, as frequently happens, the promise paid but little. While direct doses of this reagent gave a boost to strength, the permanent damage done to the body far outweighs any temporary advantage. Unfortunately, these adverse effects tend to carry over to the spells cast using this reagent. Before his illness, Garak al-Mat, a mage of the High Mountains, was experimenting with the venom in conjunction with spider silk and giant bee pollen. His hope was to bind the qualities into an effective casting reagent for divination, but his work is now lost forever. Hoe of Destruction. Accidental Glory. One of the most recent magic items created, this once ordinary hoe dates back to only a few years ago when one of the first mages, a bush mage of no real merit, to succumb to the illness that now plagues all mages, was asked to both repair a broken hoe for a local farmer and enchant a sword for a warrior. Unfortunately, his perhaps never-to-be-repeated enchantment has made this hoe one of the better melee weapons around today. This hoe can be distinguished by its distinctive red glowing head. Be wary if thou dost ever face it. Items below this point need more research before publication. Fire Doom Staff, lethality personified. This staff, which hurls exploding fireballs that actually seek out a target, is perhaps the most lethal of all magic weapons created in the era of human-gargoyle cooperation. But, as with most of the more powerful magic weapons, its limited lifespan means it may fail thee at the worst of times. Great Dagger. A great idea, but shy of wonder. This dagger is perhaps one of the most ingeniously economical of items ever produced. It appears to be not more than an ordinary dagger, save for large red stone for a pommel. However, when one strikes with it, it is magically transformed into a two-handed sword. It hides well and is light on the belt, but no more dangerous than an ordinary two-handed sword, which, of course, is in no way feeble. Glass Swords, a historical legacy of death. These single-use swords will almost always kill any creature in a single blow, but they are seldom useful for a second opponent. Wow, this book goes on. I'm committed now. Other miscellaneous magical weaponry. As a general case, any person with a modicum of magical talent can identify magical weapons, armor, and other apparatus by their pulsating glow. Often, however, the color indicates even more about an item than just the existence of the enchantment. For example, a green field often denotes a poisoning weapon. Starbursts. Clouds of flying death. Delicious starbursts. Originally designed as a small transportable weapon, this magical laminated throwing star bursts into a cloud of similar stars upon contact with its target. Although not terribly devastating, it is the tiny size that makes it such an offensive defense. Its small size also makes it a valuable backup missile weapon, for many can be carried together. Burst arrows, an area effect arrow. The arrow functions as a regular arrow, but upon impact, explodes into 1,000 flying shards of death. Magic boomerang. There and back again. These magical boomerangs are to the gargoyle race as the magical sword to human warriors. Their most common weapon, boomerangs, have the amazing ability to pass through walls and other solid objects, and still return to the thrower. Excellent for hunting in the mountains. Venom Dagger, the assassin's tool. This shimmering green dagger is actually the enchanted tooth of a poisonous sea serpent, joined to the hilt of a regular dagger. Its envenomed blade injects the slow poison into its victim, but it frequently breaks. It's the perfect assassination weapon. See Alagna's History, Assassination of Baron Johann IV, page 54. Stone Harpy. Oh, we faced this one last episode. Or was it the one before? The Stone Harpy is the creation of the twisted mind of the magus and paranoid Lord of Spectron. It is reputed to be magically triggered by the approaching close... Who wrote... Alagna, you need to have an editor pass over this book of yours. It is reputed to be magically triggered by the approaching close approach of any creature. All right. Needs work. Rather than read every book on his shelf, which could take a while, let's talk to him again and claim that we are, in fact, the Avatar. Oh, stop moving around. Hello again, Alagna says. What's your name again? The sage smiles and nods his head. My name is Alagna. And who art thou? I'm the Avatar. Alagna's eyes widen. By the skies above, I do recognize thee. This is quite an honor. What may I do for thee? Well, so what is it you do here? My profession, or rather my destiny, is to learn and know all things. I came to New Magentia to build a workshop and do so. Uh-huh. What do you like about this place? The sage sighs. I left the Britannian mainland to come to the relative peace and quiet of New Regency. I am content here because it is isolated and free from the filth and corruption going on in Britannia. Not many see it. Corruption, you say? The Britannian people are becoming careless and lazy. They do not seek true knowledge. They do not respect their land. They do not respect each other. The resources of our land are being wasted. Miners are experimenting with dangerous reagents. There is an evil in the land, and I am not so sure that it is in the people themselves. Evil? What could possibly be evil? Thou hast heard of the Fellowship by now, I am sure. They are cunning and two-faced. I am working on obtaining proof of this. I suspect them as well. Thou dost suspect the Fellowship of foul deeds? Well then, thou art perceptive indeed. Perhaps we are working towards the same goal. Perhaps. What sort of proof do you have? I am documenting this information in my notebook. Ah, notebook, you say. There's such a big dialogue tree, and I want to continue asking that. Yeah, go on. It is hidden in a safe place, along with mine other treasured sources of knowledge. Alagna listens as you tell him you would like to borrow the notebook. Since thou art an honourable quest, I suppose I might allow thee to borrow it, if thou dost give me thy word that thou wilt return it. That book was not his notebook. Yes, indeed. There's the one that he's doing for the publication of all his magical knowledge and boasting, and there's the other one that's safely locked in a massive vault, which has all of his treatises on the Fellowship and how they're actually kind of evil. And if thou dost offer proof of thine eagerness to learn the true knowledge of the world. True knowledge? True knowledge is the only way to complete fulfillment. If you say so. What would I have to learn? Very well. Dost thou know the answers to the questions of life and death? Well, no, not really. Who does? No, of course thou dost not. Only those souls who have passed on from this life know these things. Seek out the spirit of the tortured one. Ask him what the answers are to the questions of life and death. When thou dost return with the correct answer, I will believe that thou art sincere in thy quest for knowledge. Only then will I allow thee to borrow the notebook. Oh, but the wisps really want it. They are an unusually aloof creatures of another dimension. Thou would think that they are friends, but they could very well be spying on thee for someone else. Yep, poor tortured one. They have no loyalties to good or evil. All they care about is the acquisition of information. How they acquire it is sometimes honorable, sometimes not. Cool. So where's your workshop? This is my workshop. I peruse my books and papers here. Occasionally I invent things, such as this crystal ball. Yes, the crystal ball. That's kind of important. It is a device for recording. If I forget a procedure or a step in an experiment, I may look into the crystal ball and see yesterday's events. Please, feel free to use it. Thou wilt see what I was doing yesterday. Sure, I'll just spy on whatever you were doing. So I need to talk to a tortured one, you said? Alas, he is a poor soul who is doomed to haunt his abode throughout eternity. And where's that? Seek him out in Skara Brae, but be careful. It is a dangerous place. I shall also advise thee that thou must use seance spells to speak with anyone on that island. They are all undead. Delightful. I think we hit the information dialogue option before. It's all contained within the notebook. Farewell, may thy journeys be profitable. Alright, so let's spy on what he was doing yesterday. Use the crystal ball, and how about that? He was in his workshop, just standing around. The fun thing about this crystal ball is the way the game implements it. This is an entirely separate region elsewhere in the game, and when we come back to Alagna after doing a whole bunch of these quests and notebook things, it will be useful for us to use the crystal ball and see what happened the day before that we missed. and it will take us to another area. And they're actually they've built 2 separate workshops in the Isle of the Avatar around about here. You can go touring that at some later point. Yeah, so don't mind me. I'm just going to poke through all of your stuff. I am the Avatar after all. You can't expect me to resist the temptation there. We have a lot of chests of random stuff. Some food. Powder kegs? Why do you need powder kegs in your kitchen? What a nice kitty. And honestly, we could just hang around here while he makes some potions and yoink. Let's grab a protection one as well. Whoops. How did that happen? That accidentally slipped into my inventory. Yes, black one. We don't need that one. Can you give us some more yellows? I mean, the purple protection ones are nice, but I rarely remember to use them. Hey, Mem. Thanks for the lurk. Good to see you. You might be lurking, but that doesn't make you immune to a shout-out or two. So why don't we give you... Mamela is another Aussie streamer that you might want to follow. She plays a lot of open-world sandbox games and is highly entertaining. Also has a cat cam. Right, so we've... Oh, kitty. Yeah, kitty, kitty. What's this place? Shipwright. There's no one home. Hello? Anybody home? Oh, there is someone home. They were just hiding in the corner of the wall. Possibly hiding because a party of 6 adventurers have just barged into their house. Hi. Before you is a shrewd-looking craftsman, obviously filled with the contentment of a peaceful life, until 6 adventurers burst into his room, wielding magical weapons. What's your name? I am Russell, a shipwright. What is it you do, then? I build ships in New Magentia, but it's a profession I enjoy very much. I also sell deeds for my ships, and sextants, by which one can navigate the open seas. Ooh, tell me more about the sextants. Thou wishes to purchase one of my fine sextants? 'Twill cost thee 40 gold. No thanks. I can get them for free. I understand, my lady. Some of us can navigate with just the naked stars. Quite. Well, I don't really need to buy a ship, but thou wishes to purchase my ship, the Nymphet? The deed will cost thee 600 gold. No, thank you. I understand, my lady. The seas aren't for everyone. Yeah, I have a magic carpet. I'm fine. What can you tell me about New Magentia? Things have been very peaceful in New Magentia. There's been a little trouble from outsiders lately. Ooh, outsiders. How terrible. Before thine arrival here had not been a stranger in New Magentia for years, save for the survivors of the shipwreck. Shipwreck? I found the wreckage. 3 men were clinging to it for their lives. I'd never seen a ship like it before. The markings show it was constructed by a Minnock shipwright named Owen. Oh, him. We've seen him. It was not very well constructed. They were from Buccaneer's Den. Most people that come here come because they have lost on their way to or from Buccaneer's Den. Tell me more about Buccaneer's Den. The 3 men wish to go back. They say there is a house of games in Buccaneer's Den. Russell shrugs. As if that would be a reason to go there. I offered to sell them a ship, but they had no money. They actually seemed offended when I would not give it to them for free. Oh, some people. I mean, they know that they could just take the Moongate, right? They've been a little unreliable lately. There's been a few people shattered into fragments, but for the most part, it's fine. Fare thee well, my lady. That's a fine sextant. But yes, we have absolutely no reason to purchase a ship from anyone, because thanks to the Forge of Virtue expansion pack, we get one for free. And also, we have flying carpet now, and means of magical travel. Only a small chance of dying. Exactly, Galara Dragon. Lord British was very adamant when he gave me his Orb of the Moons that he was sure that I would have better luck. So while we're here, I mean, let's check out the place. We've got Alagna's workshop, which on the surface seems quite fortified. If I recall, there's a secret entrance on this side. There we go. But we don't need to do this whole puzzle right away, because we don't have permission to go get his notebook yet. Ma'am, thanks for the hug. I don't have a hug command. I should probably make one. But I mean, people get the message, so that's fine. This house is locked. Is it a lock we could pick, or use our special lockpick key for? It is. And yeah, this house is actually deserted. And if we wanted to do an episode of where we play House Flipper, but in Ultima VII style, I wonder if this would be a nice place to live and we could fix it up. It's got lots of windows, it's by the beach. Yeah. Always, when we played this originally, me and my sister, we wouldn't so much play the main quest line of the game as we would find places to move into, build a house somewhere and live there. I mean, look at this place. Cobwebs and a pitchfork. That's all this person owns. And this is... You see an angelic young woman who gives you a smile of complete innocence. Hi, what's your name? My name, milady, is Constance. She shyly lowers her eyes. Okay, hold on to your goods, people, it's Constance. Or, no, I'm thinking of Morrowind. That's the best part of an altar game. You can redecorate as you see fit. Exactly, Galara. Like, me and my sister, we would know all of the best places in Britannia to go and steal furniture and secret walls, because secret walls, if you stole them with the hack mover tool, they would stay where you put them, and you could build your own house somewhere. It was The Sims before The Sims came around. Just build your own little house somewhere. And what's your job? I carry water from the Well of Humility to all of the homes here in New Magencia. Oh, so they haven't got plumbing here? Fine. What's so special about the Well of Humility? The water from the well is pure and cool. If thou wouldst like, I will pour thee some. Sure. With a big smile, Constance takes a dipper and submerges it in the cool water of her bucket. She draws out the dipper and hands it to you. You drink and find the water delicious and very refreshing. Actually, I feel quite parched myself. Might I have some as well? Constance nods yes and hands him a dipper of water. He drinks with loud gulping sounds. Constance hands Spark a dipper full of water. He drinks it down in one long slurp. Upon finishing it, he burps. With an embarrassed grin, he bows apologetically to Constance as he hands her back her dipper. Have you heard of these strangers in town? There are 3 strangers on the island. They've been shipwrecked here. I have met them. Their leader's name is Robin. Okay, and what's Robin all about? He's a wealthy man, and his 2 friends are big, strong men. They have been telling me about a very wonderful-sounding place called Buccaneer's Den. Really? What's his friends like? Their names were Battles and Level. Both of them treated me like proper gentlemen. What's Battles' deal? Battles was quiet at first. I thought he was mean-looking, but he's nice once thou dost get to know him. He told me of the various monsters he fought, and exciting stories of how he raided ships in the South Seas. And Level. Level was always charming and witty. He can always make me laugh. They sound quite charming. And what have they told you about Buccaneer's Den? Buccaneer's Den must be a wonderland. There is a spinning wheel that gives thee money. Canst thou imagine? And opulent, luxurious baths. Well, they certainly have nothing like that in New Magencia. I had never even heard of such a thing before. And the baths? Doesn't it not sound nice? It does sound nice. Bye for now. It was a pleasure speaking with thee, my lady. So, I'm happy to take this slowly and just poke around New Maginsia and its residents. There's another abandoned house by the looks of it, with a locked door that, thanks to our skeleton key, we can open. Yep, completely trashed the place. We could totally revamp this place. It's nice brick. Maybe on a later stream, but there's this person hanging around. Who are you? You see a scruffy young man who is obviously suffering from a broken heart. And what's your name? My name's Henry, milady. What do you do? Job? Who can work when he has a broken heart? Okay. I've been rejected by the woman I love. Really? His eyes light up. Her name is Constance. She's the most beautiful woman in the world, and for a time we were in love. His face falls, and he sighs deeply. But that was before I made a terrible mistake. Did you tell her about your crypto portfolio? I promised to give her a very old and valuable locket as a token of mine affection. My childhood friend, Katrina, had given the locket to me. Oh, Katrina's around, is she? Katrina's a shepherd here on New Maginsia. She's been a friend of mine since I was a boy. So what about this locket? Before I could give her the locket, I lost it. I have searched everywhere, but I cannot find it. Now Constance thinks I am a cad and has forsaken me. Oh, that's terrible. But, I mean, that's on you, right? I noticed I had lost the locket right after I spoke with those 3 strangers yesterday. Wouldst thou help me find it? I guess, sure, if I happen to come across it. Oh, thank thee, my lady. If not for thee, I would be lost. And tell me about Constance. She's the water bearer of the town. She carries water from the Well of Humility to all the homes in town. And who are these strangers? There are 3 other strangers in New Maginsia. They arrived a few days before thee. Their ship was sunk, and they barely made it here with their lives. Okay, bye. Travel safely and be well. So, obviously we can do a little bit of a quest here. We can find this missing locket, unite Henry and Constance, and see what the deal is with these 3 strangers. Hi. Who are you, noblewoman? You see a humble-looking older woman. She gives you a friendly smile. What's your name? I'm Magenta, of New Maginsia. That must get very confusing when people try to pronounce it. Oh, nothing is ever new in New Maginsia, as the joke around here goes. But that is how we like it. We have few visitors here. Oh, visitors. I hear there are 3 other new arrivals wandering around here somewhere. I always try to give people the benefit of the doubt, but be careful of them. What about these new arrivals? Certainly some of the other townsfolk must have seen them by now. Perhaps they will give more information. Okay, what is it you do anyway? I'm the mayor of New Maginsia, and the wife of Boris. Who's Boris? Boris is the local innkeeper, and a bit of a scoundrel if I say so myself, but he pours a good drink and tells a good story. Although I have to keep an eye on him, I love him. That's nice. It's a job that requires little actual administration. I mostly try to make sure that everyone is getting along with everyone else. Apart from that, the town practically runs itself. Why, even the taxes here are less severe than anywhere else in Britannia. Ooh, that's a nice reason to move here. The Britannian Tax Council sometimes forgets to come collecting here for years on end. Bye. I look forward to the next time when I will see thee. Alright, maybe we'll find... What's this place? The... E-A-D... No, hang on, that's M. The... Maddest... Damsel? Oh, the Modest Damsel, yeah. It's been a while since I properly read Britannian runes. Here we go. The Modest Damsel. The town inn. This must be Boris. Hello. You see a leering, ill-postured man who chortles to himself. Call me Boris. What is it you do? I run the Modest Damsel here in New Magentia. Cool. What's Modest Damsel all about? It is a little inn and tavern. I'm the owner, along with my wife, Magenta. Would thou like something to eat or drink, or perhaps a room? Nothing for that, thanks. What do you think of your wife? She became the mayor of New Magentia after the death of the old mayor, her father, several years ago. She has done such a good job that no one has opposed her for the position yet. Okay, I don't need room. Tell me about the town. In all of Britannia, thou shalt not find a place that changes so little. Even the people always seem the same. And have you seen a locket around? I'm quite certain I have never seen such a locket. I shall be happy to keep mine eyes open, though. Okay, finally, have you seen some strangers in town? The shipwreck has brought 3 strangers to our island. Rumour has it one of them is a moneyed gentleman from Buccaneer's Den, and the other 2 are his hired swords. They were in here drinking one night. They are not the sort of crowd I would wish to serve at mine establishment. There are merchants and labourers, as well as a few new folks. Tell me about the merchants. It would be Russell, the shipwright, Henry, the peddler, and Sam, the flower man. And labourers? There would be Katrina, the shepherd, and Constance, the water carrier. And tell me about the new folks. Except for the 3 strangers, the only relatively new person on the island is Alagna, the sage. Ooh, tell me what you think of Alagna. Bit full of himself, right? Alagna is not from New Regency, of course, but has settled here after studying the world, for he well knows the value of our peace and solitude. Right, well, we already talked about strangers. We could talk to him about Katrina, for example. Katrina's come to the aid of the people in this town on more than one occasion. She gets an interesting smile on her face whenever thy name is mentioned. I haven't even introduced myself. Do you actually recognize me as the Avatar, Poggers? Alright, I think we've exhausted our conversation there, unless we really wanted to dig into what everyone thinks of everyone else. But these would be the 3 strangers. You see a roguish man dressed in what appears to be some nobleman's ratty hand-me-downs. My name, milady, is Robin. A pleasure to meet thee. I have come to New Magentia only recently. And what is it you do? My father, a well-respected nobleman whose name I will not defame by mentioning, bastardized and disowned me, but he did teach me mine occupation. Really, what is that? Why, that most glamorous and respected of occupations, milady. Winning at games of chance. That doesn't seem so much as a job as a hobby, but sure. Are you the strangers that we've been hearing about? I do not know of any. I only just arrived here myself. Okay. What do you think about New Magentia? I'm not from here. My colleagues and I had to quickly leave Buccaneer's Den after a dispute with the casino owner. And a rough voyage it was, too. What sort of dispute was that? I won a vulgar amount of the casino's gold, and the mister of the place, Gordy, accused me of cheating. He sent his leg-breaker, Syntag, after us. Pirates do not like to lose. Tell me more about this mister. Do not ask me why he's called that. Everyone there calls him that, though. Alright, how was your voyage? We took the first ship out, but before we got back to the mainland, it had sunk. The 3 of us barely managed to make it to New Magentia with our lives. Now we are marooned here. You know it has a moon gate, right? That is right. We cannot afford the stinking ship sold by the shipwright. But say, thou must have gotten here in some manner. Dost thou have some manner of ship on which we could leave the island? Some sort, yes, it's a flying carpet. I could pay thee well if thou wouldst take us back to Buccaneer's Den. You would pay, huh? Of course I cannot pay thee right now at this moment. But when we reach Buccaneer's Den, I promise thee I shall be able to get mine hands on a lot of money. Really? Yes, money. For I have found something here in New Magintia that will be worth more than gold in Buccaneer's Den. Really? What have you found? Before I tell thee what it is, wilt thou promise to take me and my mates back to Buccaneer's Den? I promise. Robin looks you in the eye. Thou art truly a kind friend. I suppose, then, I should tell thee what it is we are planning on bringing back from New Magintia. What is it? Since thou art truly a friend, then I know that I can ask a favour of thee. Why dost thou not bring back that lost locket to me, and we shall speak of these things some more? Oh, hold on, we are supposed to have hit a different conversation option. He flashes you a wicked grin. What locket? I know nothing of a locket. We are trying to return to Buccaneer's Den. I was hoping to sell a gold locket which came into my possession to buy our passage back, but I fear it is lost. If thou dost come across it, be sure to let me know. All right. Honestly, I thought he had the locket, but I guess now I remember it. We can return it to him or its rightful owner, or Henry. I think there's actually several different ways you can end this quest. Buccaneer's Den. It is where we live most of the year. There are a lot of rough characters there, and it is not a place to be seen carrying large amounts of money. What sort of rough characters? One rough character in particular to stay away from is a man called Hook. He would kill thee for a trifle. Trifles are delicious. Thou canst tell him by the hook he uses for a hand. Really, a hook? I know nothing more. If thou thinkest I would willingly cross paths with the likes of him, then thou must have me mistaken for someone else. Alright, who are these colleagues of yours anyway? My friends are Battles and Level. Their job is to protect me and my winnings. In exchange, they share in my profits. I rescued him from his captain, who was about to make him walk the plank. I diced with that captain for the lad's life. Later, Battles led a mutiny that took the ship, and, well, that is another story. And Level? I rescued him from a gaggle of angry noblemen's daughters who had just discovered he was courting all of them simultaneously. If not for me, he would have certainly perished. But I am ahead of myself. Alright, bye. It's been a pleasure speaking with thee, milady. So we could talk with one of these underlings. The man before you examines you with shifty eyes. He has a slightly crouched posture, as if constantly poised to strike out at the world around him. What's your name? Battles, myself. I be a stranger to New Magintia. We be looking to get off this boring rock, New Magintia, and back to Buccaneer's Den. If ye have a way to get us there, and away from these peasant knaves, Master Robin shall pay thee well. These peasant knaves, you say? The people here are so lacking in education that they never even heard of gambling before. Never heard of gambling? That is what life is all about. Canst thou imagine spending thine entire life here with nothing happening, day after day after day? 'Tis enough to drive a man mad. Have you seen a locket? I saw a locket just like the one thou be describing in the possession of Master Robin. Last time I saw it was, let's see, was right before the three of us went drinking at the Modest Damsel. Really? Well, we're right here now. Be seeing ye. Maybe Level knows more about the locket. You see a young man balancing a dagger on the tip of his finger. He tries hard to ignore you. And you would be? I'm fading, I should call it a night here. No worries. Thank you so much for the raid, Galara. I'm very happy to have had you around, even for a little bit. Take care. Have yourself another shout out, why not? They're free. Yeah, rest up. Thanks again. Take care. What's your name, Level? I'm Level. Okay. Thanks for streaming this epic game. No worries, Galara. I love this game so much. Yeah. Good night. What is it you do? Along with battles, I'm a bodyguard for Master Robin. If not for him, I would have landed in prison instead of in New Magencia. You'd have gone to prison, really? Yes, I've done things to be put in prison for, but I'm not ashamed of my life. I do not have to be held accountable to thee about it. Right. What do you think about your friend, Battles? He has an eye like a hawk, and is quicker than a cat. It would be wise of thee to pay him respect. Aha, thou art too correct, Level. And while thou art about it, thou mayst show respect to me, too, Level says with a sneer. Alright, have you seen a locket? While I myself have seen no such locket, perhaps thou should ask Master Robin about it. Yeah, we're not getting anything more from him. Bye. With that, Level goes back to playing with his dagger. We have a dagger too. It's a great dagger. Much as was indicated in Alagna's book. I've got Sentry using this one. And he's offhandedly holding the fire sword, basically just as a source of light for us. And of course, here's the aforementioned Hoe of Destruction, which we got as soon as we could, possibly because it's an excellent weapon. So, we know that the locket was possibly lost when they were drinking here. Does this mean that the innkeeper actually does know more about that? Hello again, says Boris. Do you have the locket? Come on, fess up. You tell Boris what you had heard from the pirate battles. He breaks out into a cold sweat. Thou hast seen through my deception. I shall hand it over to thee. He opens a secret panel from behind the bar and looks inside. When he looks back to you, his face has lost all colour. The locket is gone. I swear to thee, I know not where it is. Oh no. So first the locket was dropped by Henry and, well, stolen by these pirates. Then the pirates lost it and it was stolen by Boris. And then it's been stolen out of his secret compartment in the bar by someone else. Sure. Bye. Good journey. Where has this locket gone? I don't know who owns this house. It's the strangest thing sometimes. I find my hands gravitating towards WASD, even though the game is almost entirely mouse-driven. In fact, you can play it entirely with a mouse, since you can turn combat on and off with the Peace, Dove, Flaming Sword option here. But generally you want to use C to toggle that on, because it's kind of slow otherwise. Here we go, another locked house. So glad we picked up the skeleton key. Put that whistle away as well. And I guess we don't need the honey anymore, so YOLO, you can have the honey. Oh, you can't have the honey. I guess you're full up on food. Yep, that's a bit of a mess. Won't fit. Cool. I'll do inventory management off screen. Oh, and just as I mentioned food, Spark is a bit hungry. Cool. Let's just feed everyone up. That'll free up some inventory room. Some grapes that we obtained from Empath Abbey. I do miss the F key that you can use in Serpentile and Exalt. Let's have some honey if we... Oh, the honey isn't even edible. It's just a quest item. Boo. I'll leave that at home for role-playing sake. What was I saying? Yeah, in Serpentile and Exalt, you can just push the F key, and it will find food in everyone's inventory and feed the targeted person. Makes this so much less tedious. Look at how hungry everyone was. People are devouring sides of beef like they're bits of popcorn. It's got to be everyone, surely? Yeah. And you can see we've got a number of wands as well here because they're nice to have, even though I'm probably going to forget to use them. Be a backup in case ELO runs out of ammo. And actually, by the looks of it, he's used up all of his enchanted bolts that I gave him a while ago. So we ought to stock up on those and make some more. Anyway, this house does not appear to actually be abandoned. It's just someone locked it because they thought that they could protect their paltry possessions if they did so. Yes, we must, ELO. We're looking for a locket. Maybe this person's stolen it and they hid it under their clothes. We don't know. It's our honourable duty as the Avatar to steal it back if we can. For such a sleepy town, with a bunch of trusting residents, people do sure keep their doors locked. Oh, this is another abandoned one. Yeah, I think if we do a house flipper episode, we'll definitely come here to New Magencia, make a new life. Hey, dog, stop moving so quickly. Dog, I'm gonna pat you. I'm gonna get a patting. Don't go through the moongate, dog. No. Good doggy. There. Since I'm running the game in DOSBox, it does make it interesting sometimes to balance between having a high frame rate where it's not quite so noticeably slow to move around and having a low enough frame rate that you can actually click on things that are trying to run away from you. So many abandoned houses here. The real estate market here must be ripe for the plucking. Oh, it's Henry. Henry greets you. It is good to speak with thee again, my lady. Bye. Travel safely and be well. Presumably where he lives. So yeah, I don't see why anyone could be stranded here. They can just take the Moongate to get out of here. We haven't disabled them all yet. Here's a small hut with a locked chest. Don't mind if I do. 2 plates. What treasure. And this appears to be where these guys are crashing for the moment. Yep. Absolute dump. Definitely ripe for the flipping of houses. And here we go, right at the bottom of the island, with Sam the Flower Man. You see a content-looking bearded man with deep-set laugh lines in his face and gentle eyes. What's your name? My name is Sam. I am the Flower Man. And what is thy name? I am Poggers. It is nice to meet thee. Have you seen these strangers around? There are 3 strangers on this island that have washed ashore in a shipwreck. Perhaps thou shalt meet them. We have. We've met Robin. Why, he sounds like one of those 3 strangers. I have met him. He talked as if he wanted to buy some flowers, but he just walked away. Later I noticed a bouquet of flowers was missing from my wagon. The scoundrel must have pilfered them. And Battles? He must be one of those shipwrecked visitors we have on our island. Yes, when the 3 of them came up to my wagon, he gave me a stare that sent a chill through my blood. I did my best to ignore him. I absolutely abhor violence. And Level, have you met him? So that is the name of one of our uninvited guests. When the 3 of them came to my wagon earlier, he was very friendly while talking to me, but I saw through him. He mentioned noticing Constance, but the others gestured from him to be quiet. Have you seen a locket around? Yes, I saw Henry walking past my shop with that locket, looking for Constance. It must have been very shortly after he'd received it from Katrina. I remember it because I gave him a flower to give to Constance. Poor fellow. By the time he found her, it was all he had to give her. Bye. Enjoy thy life, friend. So, it doesn't seem like we actually have the option to buy flowers from him, even though he's selling them. But he has a very nice house, except for the tentacle outside the window. I mean, you know, some people would like that. Some people would like it to wake up in the morning, look out the window, and see a writhing mass of tentacles in the ocean. So, you know, if this guy wanted to sell, he could probably do that. Got some books. Nothing particularly of note. But yeah. And it's interesting to me, anyway, that the way that the game set up this greenhouse lets you still click through the greenhouse roof to the items underneath it. Like when we go underneath the house roof, normally it strips it off, but here lets you see straight through. Anyway, we must continue our search for the locket, which is definitely more important than all of this notebook business and contacting Time Lords business. Here's the shipwreck. Want to do a quest here, and then we can move on to Scarborough next week, which I think coincidentally will be Halloween, like officially end of October next week. So I think if we play through Scarborough on Halloween, that should be kind of appropriate, right? It's all spooky and stuff. The other thing I've been meaning to do and schedule and still haven't got around to, because, you know, it's a struggle sometimes, is my whole 7 Days to Die streaming 7 days each week. Streaming each 7 days of the week for the sake of upping my number of streams count and eventually getting follower emotes. So that's still on the board, and it would be thematic to do it during October, so maybe I'll do it like maybe I can start it at least next week. I don't know. But either way, stay tuned. I will do it at some point. I don't think anyone would blame me for dragging my feet with it a bit, because, you know, everyone's in the same boat here. Doing things can be quite an effort sometimes. Thankfully, playing Ultima 7 requires zero effort from me at all. I might even go as far to say that it's negative effort for me to play Ultima 7 on stream, because I just love this game so much. Yeah, this is the house we saw before. Where's Katrina at? Katrina is one of our old companions, and we can actually get her to join. Might be tending all of these sheep here, just wandering around. Katrina, where are you? I mean, maybe she knows where the locket is, because I think we've met just about everyone else on the island. Lagna's End. Is this the other empty house? Yeah. I'm pretty sure Katrina just wanders around this big field during the day. And surely we could enlist her help. But that's quite frustrating that she doesn't seem to be around. I don't know where her house is. We could always wait until dark and then barge into everyone's houses until we find her. That, I guess, is one of the selling points of the whole schedule system that Ultima has. She's not in the town hall. Alright, this is a wandering around stream now. Who's that? May as well find out. Okay, so this is Henry's house. Bye. Is this Constance's house? Yes. "Milady," says a wide-eyed Constance, "what may I do for thee?" Yeah, bye. It was a pleasure speaking with thee, milady. Forest here. I'm not missing like a large section of the map, am I? I don't think I am. Katrina will be around here somewhere. But perhaps we're going to have to wake her up. I think this must be the mayor and her husband's house, since it's near the inn and the town hall. There's the sheep. That looks like battles. Oh, it's level. Okay. Bye. Bunch of pirates wandering the island at night. It can't be good. Empty house. We just get down here where it's Sam the Flower Man and the other stuff. Right. So, nope, that's another pirate. Hi. It's nice that they go around closing the shutters of a abandoned house there, just being nice. They can't help it, that's how they're programmed. Where does Katrina even live? I mean, there's so many houses here, but a lot of them are all just abandoned. Is it this one? Okay, there's two people with Katrina's model. Hi. One of you... There's Katrina. You see your old companion, Katrina, looking only slightly older than when you saw her during your last visit. What's your name? Why, she blinks at you. I know that it has been a long time, but surely thou cannot have forgotten me. I am Katrina, one of thine old companions. You share a friendly laugh at your reunion. And what is it you do around here? Why, after last accompanying thee on thine adventures, I settled down to the peaceful life of a shepherd in New Magentia. If thou dost have need of me, I could join thy party again. Yeah, sure, let's have you join. I prefer smaller crowds, Avatar. Perhaps later. This is interesting, like, some companions you can always recruit them no matter what. But some companions will look at your party size and going, well, 6 people, that's enough, I don't want to join. You can get as many as 8 in the party, although it does become quite unmanageable at that point. We could get Ceramed to go away and recruit Katrina. She's not one of the strongest companions in the game or anything like that, but there is a reason that teenage me did tend to recruit her, and we'll see that if we actually get her in the party. Yeah, how is time? Time is a bit weird, hey? Although there is a vast difference in how time passes in our world and in this one, I am certain I have aged at least a bit, she says pleasantly. And you're a shepherd now. I watch over my flock, and the townspeople as well, when they need me. Have you seen our old companions? Ah, yes, Aolo, Shimino, and Dupre. I left Shimino back in Britain. Shimino should be here with us. Dupre is still drinking in Jahal. We haven't met him yet. I cannot help but miss Dupre a little. I have not seen him since he was knighted. And you recognize this guy. How hast thou been keeping thyself all these years, Aolo? The years have not been as kind to me as they obviously have been to thee, my lady. Ah, I see that thou art still a scallywag, Aolo. So have you met Henry? Henry's been a very dear friend for years. He's a simple but good man who does not have an ounce of hate in his heart for anyone. I'm so fond of him that I gave him a valuable heirloom. Since he does not have much money, I gave Henry my gold locket so that he could present it to his sweetheart, Constance. I have not talked to him lately, but I must confess I'm worried about him. Why? Soon after Henry left carrying the locket, I saw the 3 strangers on the island, wandering off in the same direction. Yeah, have you seen these strangers? The 3 visitors come from Buccaneer's Den. I met them shortly after their arrival, and we spoke briefly. Robin is the one dressed like a gambler, and the other 2, Battles and Level, appear to be bullies. And you like it on this island, do you? We are isolated here. We get no news from the world outside. Life is much the same as it was the last time thou didst visit Britannia 200 years ago. I have many friends here. That is the way we like it here. Now we have 3 other strangers on the island, besides thee. Of course, thou couldst hardly be called a stranger. This is the largest number of visitors we have had in years. But never fear, Poggers. I am seldom lonely. The 3 visitors came from Buccaneer's Den. I met them shortly after their arrival, and we spoke briefly. Robin is the one dressed like a gambler, and the other 2, Battles and Lavelle, appear to be bullies. Are you lonely, Katrina? You want to join? I have many friends here. When I am lonely, I speak with Alagna, the sage, Russell, the shipwright, or Henry, the peddler. What do you think about Alagna? He's a wise man who knows many things and tells wonderful stories. Alagna came here to retreat from the outside world. I know not why. I'll do. Pleasant days. Buggers. So you must be Constance. There we go. Alright, bye. So let's just... because we've got Ceramed from our exploits in U. His stats aren't particularly amazing. Combat of 12. He's leveled up a bit since we got him, so we could train him up, but... I don't know. I think we'll get him to leave. Of course, before we do that, we might just strip him of all the fun magical items we gave him. Hey, come on. Hold on to this. Won't fit. I have no less than 2 incredibly strong, artificially enhanced companions, both carrying a crate of gear, and I'm still running into issues with not being able to fit all the stuff I want to carry around. Okay, fine. We'll put it on the ground. Same with the boat. You can keep your arrows, I guess. And wait. Armor. There we go. Alright, Ceramed. How may I assist the party, Poggers? Yeah, you can leave, sorry. Dost thou want me to wait here, or should I go home? I want you to go home. Very well, milady. Fare thee well. Bye. Alright, you... Hey, Gareth. Welcome on in. How are you doing? We are on the island of New Magintia, and we're trying to recruit our old friend Katrina into the party, assuming we can differentiate her from Constance there, who happens to have the same character model. Hello again, Poggers! Katrina greets you with a smile. What's your job here? Why, after last accompanying thee on our adventures, I settled down to the peaceful life of a shepherd in New Magintia. If thou dost have need of me, I could join thy party again. Yes, join, please. It would be an honour, my lady. Alright, bye. Pleasant days. Poggers. So now I can reveal to you why I often chose Katrina as a party member back when I was a hormone-filled teenager. As you can see, she's got really great stats. Just phenomenal stats. Anyway, she doesn't... like, she's the weakest character that you can recruit, I think. But, hey, like, if you want to fill your party up, you may as well pick a bunch of friends. Could drag her around for a bit. She's probably going to get herself killed. She doesn't even have a backpack. She has a bread. She's wearing a bread on her back. So, there's that. Oh, hang on, let's... no, hold... put the armor on and hold the shield. Thank you. And I guess someone else can carry the bow. Anyway, we still haven't figured out where this locket has gone. My mum and my sister are in Australia visiting. I'm exhausted. Oh, wow. Yeah, family visits can be quite exhausting, Gareth, but it must be cool to catch up with them. How are they finding Australia? Are they having that sort of typical British attitude to it? I find anyone who's visited me over here, they've all been like, "Oh, how quaint," and things like that. It's terribly stereotypical of like the British tourist. Yeah, we're trying to find this locket that someone stole from Henry, and then someone stole from that group, and then someone stole it from that guy again. Ah, I remember who must have it. Boris is married to the mayor, Magenta, and Magenta would have been in the bar, found his secret compartment, discovered the locket, and assumed it was some special present Boris had gotten to surprise her with, if I recall. They live in Sheffield. Sydney isn't quaint. Ah, yeah, the big city, huh? I kind of miss Sheffield sometimes. There was, the big hole they had in the centre of town, with the very dodgy underground area with some shops and things. Where would she be living? Did we say possibly here? There's no one here yet. Ah, there you are. Magenta smiles. Good day, milady. May I help thee? Yes. Have you seen a locket around? You see the locket Henry describes to you hanging around Magenta's neck. Is it not beautiful? I found it in the secret hiding place behind my husband's bar. Yeah, you found something that he stole. I would never have suspected anything so romantic from Boris. The locket must be a surprise for me. No, it really isn't. He must be trying to get back on my good side after all the times I've caught him wenching and carousing. Really, Boris, carousing. Say, dost thou think that Boris could have meant to give this locket to someone else? No. Magenta sighs with relief. I'm glad thou hast said this. Now I shall feel no guilt about keeping it. No, you can't keep it. It's not for you. I'm flattered Boris would buy me such an obviously expensive gift, but how could he have ever afforded it? He stole it. Although Magenta struggles to retain her dignity, she cannot hide her disappointment. As mayor, I charge thee with the task of locating the rightful owner of this locket and returning it to them. Here it is. Take it. Thank you. Bye. I look forward to the next time when I will see thee. So let's save here. Nothing like a good wenching. Aye. Hang on. There we go. So if I remember rightly, there's a few ways we can actually do this quest. One of them would be to just run back to Henry and say, here, I found the locket, you can give it to Constance now. I thought I saw Henry up here, but maybe he's... Now we do again the running around town looking for people. Wake up, wake up. Time to wake up. Hi. Not moving. Henry greets you. It is good to speak with thee again, milady. Found locket. Thou hast found the locket. You hand the locket over to Henry. Now I may give it to Constance and keep my promise to her. I cannot thank thee enough, Avatar. I'm glad that this situation is concluded in thy favour, dear Henry. See, how cool is this? You happen to have Katrina in your party, and she's relevant to this quest line, so she can butt in. If I don't have her in the party, she doesn't do this. My thanks to thee, Katrina. Bye. Travel safely and be well. So that's one way we could do it. But that's not quite as satisfying. So what we could do is find out what those pirates were planning with the locket and with this other thing that they'd found in Imogen Seal. Oh, that's Russell. Actually, we can talk to Russell about the locket while we have the locket. Hey, look at this cool locket I found. The three strangers tried to offer me some kind of trinket to build or sell them a ship. It sounds like the locket thou art describing. It's right here. I would not have accepted their offer, but I was curious. Later they said nothing when I wanted to see the trinket again. I doubt they have it. Very well, my lady. Just for reference, this locket looks sort of like a fellowship medallion, but white. It's quite nice. We could put it on if we wanted to. There we go. It's a way of professing my love for the most important person in the world. Me. So what we could do is go find the pirates. Are they asleep? No. They do wander around a lot, those three. Are they trying to do house flipping? Nope. I mean, it is nice that NPCs have lives of their own and schedules to keep. It can be infuriating sometimes when you're trying to find someone to hand in a quest. Here we go. Yo. Greetings, and how may I be of service to thee? Asks Robin. So, this is interesting, right? We've got two dialogue options, Locket and Show Locket. I don't think anything really changes too much if we're just cautious from the outcome. I mean, it'll end the quest with a sort of bad end, but we may as well just do things cautiously and see what's happening here. Show Locket. Now that I know I can trust thee, I can let thee in on our plan. I intend to take another passenger in thy boat back with us to Buccaneer's Den. Oh, interesting. You've got a friend here. Her name is Constance, and she should fetch a goodly price from Gleno, operator of the baths. A price? That's slavery. Enough to pay my debts, pay thee for passage, and still have plenty left over for another go at the House of Games. That's morally wrong. Selling people is bad. I am the Avatar, and I'll stop you. Thou must get thy boat ready to leave this place immediately. My lads and I shall get Constance, and then we shall join thee. Mzz, hello. How are you doing, friend? I hope you are well. Or, I hope you are as well as you can be, given the Rona. You have redeemed Bothercat, and I shall do so forthwith. So, as you can see on the cat cam, Poppy is the fuzzy whitish blob on the fuzzy blackish blob that is my jacket that a friend gave me. It is very soft and comfy, and cats are wont to identify that immediately and find the most optimal place in any given situation to snuggle down. Looks very comfy, but I'm going to wake her up because channel point redeems. I'm sure she understands. Hi. Yeah, Lily, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Yes. Yours? To wake you up? Here on the Twitch stream. Hello. In my nose. No breakfast in bed. How good is that? Hmm? Yes. Well, given that I fed her a treat, I don't think she's so much as bothered. But she did do that little cute meow when she woke up. It's like obviously a specific meow for like, what the hell? I mean, bothering with love could be worse, yes. Um, if I had a suitable cat toy, I could probably dangle it in front of her, but that'll do. Hey, Dangerous Dave. So, anyway, yes. Good to see you, Emmy. Hope you're doing as good as you can be. So this scoundrel intends to kidnap Constance and sell her at Buccaneer's Den, and we're pretending to go along with his plan so that he's now revealed it to us. Thanks for the cat bothering. No worries, Emmy. I mean, we've woken her up now, so she's busy cleaning off all of the human stench from me petting her. Makes that camera feed a little more animated than it usually is. Yes, talking about you. Hi. Thou must get thy boat ready. Actually, it's a magic carpet. To leave this place immediately. My lads and I shall get Constance, and then we shall join thee. But wilt thou tell me where thy boat is located? The thing is, it's a magic carpet. Thou hast lost thy stomach for our game, eh? If that is the case, then my lads and I will have no choice but to kill thee dead to protect our secret. Really? Whoop, combat. That was over quickly. But then most combat in Ultima is. And they had absolutely crap all on them. So I guess we'll just leave their corpses out in the street like that to rot. Let's talk to Katrina. Hello again, Poggers. Katrina greets you with a smile. So what's your opinion on those strangers that we just slaughtered? The 3 visitors come from Buccaneer's Den. I met them shortly after their arrival and we spoke briefly. Robin is the one dressed like a gambler, and the other 2, Battles and Level, appear to be bullies. They're totally dead now. Sometimes you can actually get a line like that out of the dialogue system, where the game knows that they're dead. I kind of want to find Constance now and tell her all about the plans of those guys. Also, was anyone seriously wounded from that fight? I don't imagine we were. Nope, everyone's fine. Sentry, by the way, off screen in between episodes, I trained up, so he's used up the last training points there. Gave him a bit more dexterity and combat. So hopefully he'll die less. Not confident though. There's Henry, he's trying to sleep. Okay. Where's Constance though? Does she live here? No. She doesn't live there. Doesn't live with Sam the Flower Man. She was near Katrina's house. So maybe she lives up near there. But there's, like, all of these houses are almost all abandoned. She doesn't live in this spiderweb infested hovel, no. If we go further up, then it's just this abandoned house. And corpses, yep. And my magic carpet. Where does Constance live? Because this is apparently Katrina's house. I suppose she lives in the inn. No. And this house looks to be, yeah, Boris and Magenta. Docks. I suppose we could wait until the daytime and grab her then. Empty. Ah, here we are. Yo, wake up. What art thou doing here? We want to talk to you. Stop, stand still. Stand still. Milady, says a wide-eyed Constance, what may I do for thee? We want to tell you the terrible truth. You gently explained to Constance that Robin, Battles, and Level were scoundrels with intent to do her great harm. She is quite alarmed. Then you explained that they will not be troubling her any more. She thanks you. Well, that's that. It was a pleasure speaking with thee, milady. And now I guess we can give the locket back to Henry. Yo, wake up! Wake up, Henry, wake up. Away with thee! Yeah, okay, we just want to... Yes, my friend, Aeoloax. No, not you. It's always a pleasure to speak with you. No, we're trying to touch this guy. Henry greets you. It is good to speak with thee again, my lady. We found the locket. Thou hast found the locket. Yes, that's what I said. You hand the locket to Henry. Now I may give it to Constance and keep my promise to her. I cannot thank thee enough, Avatar. I'm glad that this situation is concluded with thy favour, dear Henry. My thanks to thee, Katrina. Bye. Travel safely and be well. So that's the end of that quest in the slightly more satisfying way. And I've taken Locket off, so let's put this magical thing back on. And yeah, I think in that conversation we had with the thugs, basically any of those dialogue options, if we'd given them the locket outright, they would probably have attacked us. If we did reveal the location of our boat to them, then aha, now we have no need of you, so then they would attack us again. So it's all just going to the same ending there, where you end up fighting them. Of course, I didn't come here in a boat, I came here in a magic carpet, so that's a slight difference in that. But yeah, that was, I think, a nice little quest to do here on New Magencia. And we're kind of done with the island now. We love Katrina dearly, but I mean, I think 5 people are easier to feed than 6. So unless we want to do some more magical experiments with people, we'll get her to leave and stay here where it's safer. Hello again, Poggers. Katrina greets you with a smile. Yeah. Dost thou want me to wait here, or shall I go on home? Let's go home, it's better. If thou dost think it best, I shall. If thou dost need me again, thou dost have but to ask. And I don't know, someone needs to hold on to all this gear. So that's all that done. Alagna needs us to find out the mysteries of life and death in order for us to gain access to his notebook, which is in this massive puzzle warehouse. I think we could actually steal it. No, that's right. He gives us a key. So, although we can sneak in here, there's a bunch of locked doors, and you do actually need the key to get through some of them. So levers and secret panels and things will only get you so far in that. So we do need to do the quest properly, which does mean going to Scarabray. Oh hey, it's morning. Away we go. And Scarabray is over here. We can't actually get there on the carpet. Or at least I've heard that there's one place where it's possible to land the carpet. And oh, this is Buccaneer's Den actually. We will go here later, I think. Then again, if we're here right now, we'll go here later properly for the main quest line. But having been told about this spinning wheel that gives people gold, I'm just intrigued. Hi. Is anyone home? No one's home right now. This place is House of Games. What time is it? It's 5:32 AM, which might explain why no one's here. However, that doesn't mean that we can't use the games. Even though there's no one to explain to us how these games work, as long as one has the money and the will, 25 gold coins, 1 gold coins, 100 gold coins. Put it all on black. That's the least carpet-looking carpet I've ever seen. It gets the job done. It's got the seats on it, and I've loaded it up with some extra cargo space. So what one can do here is how I used to make money. You can spin the wheel, and wherever it lands on, the money from that square is multiplied. But of course, you can kind of pause time and carefully advance. It's landed on orange. Did we get our money? Yep, we've got our original money, and wow. We got our original 100 gold back, plus another 600, which is not bad at all. No, hang on, there's still more. What on earth is this? Did this bug out? Did it think I've won the game multiple times here? Because this is an absurd amount of money. I do remember the game crashing on me once, because I abused this so often and so much that I got an absurd amount of gold. And the game just kind of ran out of ways to track the number of items in the game. It's given us 800, 910, 100... 11, 12, 13, 14. So 14 times our original stake. That's kind of absurd. I see Neko has hit the jackpot. Quite Cyclone. The interesting thing about gambling here at the gambling house in Buccaneer's Den is that if you're a fellowship member, you get more return on your winnings. And the tables that just seem to run automatically, they just seem to know this. I think you don't have to have your medallion on, but maybe it helps. So 1,400 gold from the ice hole. Yeah, I mean, ordinarily the spinning wheel is a bit hard to predict, and it's a 1 in 8 chance of winning. But I think being a Fellowship member and also pausing the game and dragging your pile of coins around, that helps a lot. But the traditional way of cheating that most people mention when talking about this game is the rat race. So with this game, you can place your bets on these squares at the start of each track and bet on which rat is going to win the race. There's 1, 2, 3, and 4 here. So, normally someone wanting to bet on this and win would be like, oh, I'll hedge my bets between 1 and 2. But because we're a Fellowship member, we actually get better returns than 1 in 4 or 4 to 1. And no matter who wins, we still get money. So there's 100, that one didn't win. There's 100, that one didn't win. That one didn't win. Oh, I'm sorry. Is that not the correct way to play the game? Let's try number 3. It's not working as I expected it to. Do we put the money here? Okay, that one's not working. I don't know why. There's also this game where you spin the wheels and it's like a total of 9, or you've got a 2, 2, 2. 2, 1, 1, I think, doesn't get you anything. Oh, except 4 here. So if I'd put my money on 4, that would have worked. But this one is boring. And how about that? There's this weird secret passage into the mountainside in here. We'll get into that later when we're actually supposed to come here, I suppose. Yeah, for now, I think that's still winning a large amount of money. I'll take it. I seriously thought that you were able to gamify the rat race game by being a Fellowship member, though. Maybe that only works if there's an actual attendant here to run the game. Because the idea is that if you're not a Fellowship member, it's pointless to bet all of your money on each 4 outcomes, because the returns you get are 1 in 4 anyway. Zulraid! Oh wow, offline Zulraid. Hello there. Hi ZulTTV. Welcome on in. I would give Zul a shout out. Hang on, I can still kind of give you a shout out. Where's my subs? Copy link. So Zul, manual raids get manual shoutouts. That's a link to the stream Zul just did on YouTube, and he's been streaming Cyberpunk 2077, and it's quite a lot of fun to watch. So please go over there and subscribe if you want, if you like that sort of thing. We're going to upload a clip to his Twitch, so shoutouts work. Oh, okay then. Well, in that case, you get shoutouts. They were recently playing No Game. Yeah, thank you for coming on by. I was secretly thinking of raiding you if you were still streaming when I ended this one, but you beat me to it, damn it. But Zul is another member of the Stream Shed, and we may as well link our Discord here, along with Mamela. They both do their little thing together, and then we've got a bunch of other really cool, wholesome streamers in the Stream Shed. You should go check them out. I occasionally post pictures of Poppy there. Yeah, thank you for coming by. I'm honestly thinking like I might end soon, just because I've been streaming for a little while and my voice is getting a bit sore from all of the reading of NPC speech that I've been doing and reading books. But yeah, we've basically done a bit of questing over in the island of Numagencia, this one. We returned this locket that this guy was using to woo his beloved Constance. I'm running about 3 hours so far, give or take. I'd recognize Ultima stone textures anywhere, yeah. And we talked to the Wisps, and the Wisps told us we need to go to Alagna and get his notebook from him, which of course was a really easy task, and no, haha. Alagna wants us to find out the answers to life and death. I played a fair bit of Ultima Online back in the day. Ah, yes, I really wanted to play Ultima Online back in the day, but at the time I was still living with family, and the entire concept of tying up the phone line for hours at a time to play a game that I'm somehow paying money for was not possible to explain in a satisfactory way, no. Yeah, Ultima Online, EverQuest, I really wanted to play those sorts of games. I didn't get into MMOs until Ragnarok Online, when I'd moved out and had my own place. So we're flying around a bit randomly here. We actually need to go way north. And someone picks up the other phone and you get booted, yes. Remember dial-up? I mean, we're Australian, so of course we remember dial-up. It was like last month. Yeah, it was a different time. You had to choose between having a phone or using an internet connection for a bit, and you had to plan out sort of what sites you were going to visit and things like that. Here is Skara Brae, and I think, yeah, it would be most suitable for us to do Skara Brae next week. Whoa! Please do not stand up on the carpet while it is moving. We're accidentally triggering certain things where the party members get spooked out by stuff. And it's caused Sentry there to just stand up on a moving flying carpet. You fool, sit back down. I wonder if anyone has ever cross-stitched this map. Possible, ma'am. If you go check out Galara Dragon, who I will give another shout out to despite her being asleep by now. One of the things she's been doing lately is these little crafting, like with perler beads, I think, doing pixel art, and she's got one of the female avatar. I can't. There we go. Yes, my friend, Diol asks. This character portrait, and she's got one of the male character portrait as well, and another one that's just like a small miniature version of the map, like I'm not sure we have on us because we cheat and we use F3 to view the map. There's my point. Here we go. This thing. So go check out her if you feel like it, because she's a big fan of Ultima, the whole series, and also does things like that, like as a maker thing. Ooh, the door just closed by itself. So spooky. So you'll notice that Skara Brae, it's a bit unkempt, like they could do with a gardener around here or something. There's like spider corpses and gnarled trees. And if we try and land anywhere, I do not believe that we can land here safely. Here. I do not believe that we can land here safely. For whatever reason, the game gates you into not getting here by flying carpet, not getting here by boat, because the whole island is surrounded by these monoliths. The only way to Skara Brae officially is via the ferry. Yes, thank you, Guardian. She raided you earlier, yes. Yes, Galara raided us. And was very nice. So we could park the carpet here. Come on, everyone here. And yeah, we could take the ferry. This says blowhorn to summon ferry, just in case the ferry is on the other side of the channel. And there's the ferryman here with what looks suspiciously like the same scythe that Jana is carrying. So this is the death scythe, but the ferryman has one as well. You can't take it from him because he's not a real NPC. The hooded figure in the boat ignores you completely. But Alagnar has given us a clue as to how to get there. We need a spell called Seance to be able to speak with the dead. And I guess what we'll do is we'll do that, and then I might end the stream, because I've been going for a little while. And yeah, the voice gets quite hoarse when doing Ultima and speaking out all of these NPC dialogues. I don't want to push it too hard. I wonder who we could raid though if we did go do that. So I'll just have a look. Oh, we raided soft before. Monk, useless Jedi. Evil. Yes, so I think we picked up the Seance spell earlier because we knew that we needed it for plot reasons. And I did go shopping also off stream and bought a few more spells, but quickly ran out of money. But hey, we did the gambling. Money is not going to be as a big problem now. Yeah, that's right. We bought Magic Storm, which is fun. And we bought Death Bolt, which is very powerful, and Energy Mist. Actually, I think I did buy these on stream. Mass Death, though, I don't think we bought that on stream. It's an 8th circle spell, and we do not have the ability to cast it yet. But once we do, oh, it's on. Is the Dithering original or from the DOS emulator? It is from the emulator, Zol. I have a command to explain exactly how I've set it up. So, yeah, it's a special version of DOSBox called DOSBox Staging. And it's debatable, like, whether you'd ideally want it on for a stream, because I've noticed, while it looks beautiful for me, on the stream, if you get it scaled to a different resolution, then you get some noir effect kind of lines horizontally and vertically. I'm only streaming at 720p, and I've set the game up to be smaller than that, so it should be okay. But, you know, it's not to everyone's taste. I don't think I would apply this effect to every game that I play on stream when I'm doing DOS retro stuff. Sometimes the chunky pixel look is good. Sometimes you can use some of these advanced scalers that try and interpolate lines so it's a bit smoother. Again, you know, is that what the original vision of the game was? You don't know. But I think for Ultima 7, because it is so heavily nostalgic for me, I want it with this kind of CRT shader because I played it on a CRT at the time. And I don't have a CRT anymore, unfortunately, and neither does everyone watching my stream. So, you know, it's just nice to smooth things out a little bit and show you kind of how things looked originally. You know, instead of this background for the character art being a solid grey, like solid brown, sorry, it did have at least a little bit of texture to it, thanks to the display technology of the day. The same with the ocean. You know, some of this ocean is pure blue, and it's a bit harsh on the eyes after a while if you're playing it without this kind of effect. Anyway, Seance spell. We'll talk to the ferryman, Kal Wiscorp, which in the language of magic means create wisdom death. So, you know, interpret that how you will. Before you stands a tall, skeletal figure in a ghostly boat. He holds out his hand to you and says in a sepulchral... I always have trouble with this word. Sepulchral? Sepulture? Like it's a sepulture, right? So it's a sepulchral voice? I am the ferryman of Skara Brae. Thou must pay 2 coins to cross the misty channel. So what's your name? I am the ferryman. His voice creaks like the rocking of the boat. So what do you do for employment? Have you considered joining my LinkedIn network? The ferryman doesn't respond at first, shaking his head from side to side in puzzlement. I am the ferryman. The ferryman, you say? Yes. If you pay me, I can take you across the misty channel. I am Groot. Misty channel. He turns to the side and waves his skeletal hand in a sweeping gesture over the water, upon which his boat rests. This is the misty channel. I feel like the ferryman is getting a little exasperated with us asking about everything. Skara Brae? He turns all the way around and points across the water to the west. There. All right, we can pay. Wilt thou pay my price for passage to Skara Brae? Yes. He placed the coins in the shade's palm, and his bony fingers close over them. Step aboard, if thou wouldst go to the Isle of the Dead. Overly dramatic. There, we're done. Yes, well worth the 2 gold. I'll write a good review on Yelp. But here we are, Skara Brae. Beautiful tourist destination. There's ghosts here. We can talk to them because we have the seance spell up still. All the chairs just moving around on their own. But if we didn't have the seance spell up, we wouldn't be able to talk with them. The one exception to that is a ghost who was a sorceress in life. Was her name Moira? I forget. Is her house? I think this is her house. Mordra, that's her name. Hi. I'll talk with her at least before I end the stream, because she's fun. The interesting thing is, so all of the other ghosts on the island, you need to cast Seance if you want to be able to talk with them, otherwise they just won't be aware of your existence. Mordra, if you talked with her, and we'll do it later I'm sure, when the spell runs out, she gets a feeling that something is trying to talk to her, and then she casts what must be her equivalent of the Seance spell. Talk with the living, I guess. And then she can see us and she talks with us. It's really cool. Hello, milady. Thou mayst call me Mistress Mordra. She peers at you closely. And thou must be Poggers, the Avatar. She looks at you over thoroughly. She lifts up her arms, and in one of them you see an Ankh. Words which you vaguely recognize flow from her lips, and the Ankh glows brightly. She stops chanting, and the Ankh dims. After her analysis of your condition is complete, it is good to see that the world has been treating thee well. How may I serve thee, O virtuous one? What's your name? She smiles at you. Thou art quite forgetful, Poggers. As I have told thee, I am known as Mordra. Oh no, she looks like my first grade teacher, probably just as mean. And what do you do here, Mordra? Are you a first grade teacher? I was the healer of this town before the fire erupted that shattered the lives of those here. I also dabbled in secret magical arts for a while. She winks at you slyly. Ooh, magical arts. Her eyes twinkle mischievously. If I were to reveal them to thee, they wouldn't be secret any longer now, would they? But many lives were lost in a fire? Wouldst thou like to know about the townsfolk of Skara Brae? Yes. Maybe we won't ask about everyone. Oh, we've only met the ferryman, so we can only ask about the ferryman. Interesting. I know very little about that one. He's been here since the Lich called up the angry dead from their graves. I know one thing, though. Even shouldst thou defeat Horrence, he will remain here under the Geas he serves. She looks a little sad as she tells you this. Who are the Angry Dead? They sound like a cool band. The graves of our ancestors have spilled forth the dead of Scarabray. Their minds and hearts are rotted, and they care not for the living, hence the name Angry Dead. No one. I see. Of who'dst thou speak, then? Tell me about fire. It was the doom of this town, although I place no blame upon the alchemist, Cain. For I was the one who told him the recipe that I am sure will rid us of Horrence the Lich. Who's Cain? Now those who reside here call him the Tortured One. Oh hey, it's the Tortured One. We were asked to go speak with him. Awesome. That is because he is in eternal pain caused by searing flames licking at his flesh. The pain is imagined, but to him 'tis as real as thou or I, or at least as real as thou art. What was this recipe you mentioned? It was a simple mixture of a few ingredients. It should have worked. Her eyes narrow. I expect the mayor of ours, Forsyth, fouled things up. Who's the mayor? That man is a bumbling idiot. It is his fault that the island was destroyed. I gave him the exact portions of the reagents to be used in the magical formula, and he paraphrased it to the alchemist. Cain. By the size of the fire, I'm sure he misquoted the amount of mandrake root by tenfold. Damn that foolish man. Her brow creases, and you can see that this is a subject she would like to avoid. Well, that's all for now. Bye. Goodbye, young poggers. Take care of thyself, but should ill before thee, I hope that thou wilt come back here and let me minister to thine ailments. She smiles kindly as you leave. So yeah, that's the start of Scarabray anyway. They had a bit of an accident involving a lich, and accidentally blew up the entire island and became ghosts. And the Tortured One we're seeking is here, but he seems to be in a bit of dormant. And yeah, next week will be officially Halloween, not just October spooky season, but actual Halloween. So we'll do the rest of this island then. I think it will be quite thematic. Who are we going to go raid in the meantime? Let's have a look at Poppy while I choose. At some point, right, I'm planning to have a special raiding out screen that would let me like preview some of the streamers and what they're doing and like pick one from there. But until then, like I've got a million little projects for this stream. Until then, what are we gonna look at? Unless anyone has some particular recommendations, I wondered if we might go say hi to Survivish. He's playing Song of Horror at the moment. What's Stealthy Golem playing? Might and Router 6, I don't know what that is. We raided Soft before already. And yeah, that's about it for now. We'll go say hi to Survivish. She's very nice. She's in Japan. And Empress Vel, oh, you've come just at time for me to raid out. Stream raiders when? I don't know. Thank you for the shout out from Mamela. Empress, if you could give yourself a shout out, please. Yeah, I don't know if I want to do stream raiders on like my normal Monday streams. My parents just left stream for another 45 minutes. Oh, you're killing me, Empress. You're killing me. I'm just wrapping up, honestly. We're here on this spooky island, and it would be perfect to pick up this quest next time, because it will be officially Halloween then. Yes, thank you for giving yourself a shout out. Empress Vel will be live tomorrow and Wednesday, and playing some fun games. You've got Jackbox Party Pack 9 now, and that sounds fun. So we can do some Jackbox. Spooky Island for Halloween. Yes, exactly. I forgot I was streaming for tomorrow. Lol. Well, there you go. That's a good reminder for you. Go back to just catting. But yeah, I'm gonna go raid Survivish because she's cool. She's playing Song of Horror. It looks suitably spooky, and my brain is melting, and my throat is sore because I've been speaking all of these NPC dialogue lines so much. So definitely, thanks James. Hashtag James Best Mod. Aw, no, Empress Valve Best Mod. Here's a raid message if you want to use it. Thank you. You could throw in some emotes if you got them, but there's no pressure to stick around for the raid or anything. But go check her out if you want to. This is my Discord links. Thank you so much, Empressville, Best Mod. The Discord that I have is shared with Mamela and Captain Sumi and Katie Nuki and Moontoke and Melon Capybara, and I feel like I may have forgotten someone, but there's so many wholesome people there. It's really great. You should go check it out. Hi Gareth. Hi Zol. Oh, it is. I can't tell you how much it means to me that all these cool people I know are all joining in on my stream chat and recognizing each other and waving, and it's really nice, you know? Like, I know all these cool people, and I can get these cool people to know each other independently, and it's nice. It's, yeah. I love holes. Oh, Empress. Alright, starting the raid. Can't spell raid. Donuts have holes. Yes. So yeah, thank you so much for coming by. Next week, spooky stream with like lots of speaking with ghosts and dead people and skeletons and an entire island that was burned by fire. At some point in the future, 7 Days to Die, but I've been lacking the spell slots to get that sorted. I will get it done, just not in time for October, I guess. That's fine. Ooh, dead people sounds fun. Yes, this whole island, Empress, is filled with ghosts, and to talk with them we have to cast a special seance spell. That's new. I can spend $160 to elevate a message for 10 minutes. Don't spend $160 to elevate a message for 10 minutes, Gareth. Don't. You can just put a message here, and I'll put it on stream for you if you want. Thanks for the stream. Hey, Son of Ild. Thanks for being here. Thanks for lurking. I'm going to hit the raid button now. I'm exhausted. I hope everyone has a good week, and I will see you next week. And take care. Bye-bye.